Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns, so liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What is going on, good people? What is going on with my screen? Hold on for a second. What is this madness that I have going on right here? There we go. What's going on, folks? I wasn't even sure I was going to jump on the stream. You see, this is one of them days, no promotion, no thumbnail, nothing. I'm minding my own business. You know, just chilling, trying to enjoy myself some coffee, ice cream before I shut it down for the night. Then about a half hour ago, Howie Roseman sneaks in a trade on us. And we trade Thomas Booker the fifth. Is it the fourth or the fifth? We trade Thomas Booker. And we get Jakorian Bennett, another defensive back. So clearly, the secondary is a focus for Howie Roseman. We are happy with what we got on the defensive line. I guess they come to the conclusion that Thomas Booker was not going to get many snaps, or that the value of a good cornerback was a little bit better, even though Bennett is coming off an injury, I believe. Let me see. Might not be a blockbuster, but it's not a burger. It's not a nothing burger either. Bennett has been a regular player in the Raiders secondary. Booker, despite being buried on the Super Bowl defense, has plenty of talent to carve out. I know I saw it somewhere. Bennett missed a couple games. He posted 8 passes defended Raiders in 10 games played, missing a chunk of the season with a shoulder injury. He's a playable corner who likely won't start in Philadelphia, but might get some playing time opposite Quinyon Mitchell. So there you have it. So put somebody else back in the secondary. You can never have too much depth. And let's be honest, the way these injuries are piling up across the league, you gotta make that move. You have to make that move. I don't know if you guys saw the video I just did today about the injuries. It's been kind of crazy. It's been kind of crazy with the injuries. Let me see if I can find this video. There we go. So by the way, was messing around. I'll let y'all in on this one. Y'all know I'm all about the graphics, man. So been messing around with some new stuff. As you can see, got the graphics in the background, got kind of a 3D rotation. I'm experimenting with some stuff. You know, every season got to step my game up, man. So I'm trying to do some different stuff this year. So give me some feedback. Let me know if you like it, don't like it. So it was funny. The video I did the other day with Mina Kimes, that's about the fourth or fifth video I've done like that, where I'll take comments that are made off of ESPN, but I'll splice it like I'm in the middle of the conversation just to make it interesting. And then you got people complaining like, oh, you're trying to hijack her interview. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hijack her video. It's just easier, or it's a little bit more interesting than having like a talking lower third for a couple minutes. So I thought that was interesting. People get mad at the craziest thing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, you ain't got to watch it. But this video was about a ton of injuries. And then, of course, we got A.J. Brown with the hamstring. So we're dealing with that ourselves. Nothing crazy, but, it is what it is. DeJean in the slot. Looks like that's where it's going to be. And he might move him around to safety, too. DeJean, Coop can play anywhere, man. Coop can play anywhere. So I don't think that's a problem. He is a starter and a backup at the same time. So we just got to keep it staying healthy, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody that likes it, man. Appreciate that. I take feedback seriously. I take feedback seriously. So I appreciate the feedback, man. Oh, and absolutely. Adoree Jackson. Step it up. What's up, 3K? I'm gonna have the mic open in a minute, man. So stay tuned. Anybody in the chat, they want to jump on. I'm gonna have the mic up for a minute. What I'm gonna do is I'm always opening up. I will put the link in the chat. So if you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. You do not have to have a camera. If you don't want the camera on, just turn your camera off. But that way you can give your opinion and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I looped this. Yeah, I did loop it. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat in a minute. So, and I will bring up. I'm gonna stop it at 5. I'll bring 5 people up. If we got more people that want to come on, then we'll do a rotation. We'll get some people to say what they got to say, and then move on and bring somebody else up. So I want everybody to get a turn. So give me about, what time is it? It is 10:50. So I'm going to put the link up at 11. I'm going to put that on at 11. So you know what? Humble, he's one of them dudes where, like, I really got to go back and look at some tape. And this is where you got to trust what Howie's doing, right? I am positive that Howie's done his homework. I know this kid is a player, but it's one of those situations like you got to get eyes on. Like we were talking, me and Tone were talking the other day about Ty Robinson. And I mentioned to him, like, I remember watching that Colorado game with Nebraska and Ty Robinson was wrecking shop. So I remember seeing him in just, situations like that, where you see a guy and then it comes full circle and that guy is on your squad playing for your team. And you got a little bit more understanding of what kind of talent you got. Now, Bennett, he played for 10 games with the Raiders last year, and he must have been doing something right because he was on the field until he got hurt. So I'm not even sure what his size is. I gotta take a look at his size. We'll figure that out later. But we got him now, so we'll get all those questions answered, and we'll see what they're gonna do. 63 fair trade. Raiders don't think so. They say they lost their best corner. Really interesting. I haven't even. Dude, I was watching TGL golf when I saw this. So y'all know I've been on my golf kick, at the driving range and stuff like that. And I just started watching TGL golf. Never heard of it, never seen it before. And it's just a giant tournament on a ginormous golf simulator out at SoFi Stadium. I love technology like that. To me, that was incredible. And I just watched the match with Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. But in any case, I was doing that when this came down the wire. So I haven't even heard anything from the Raiders side. I'm sure there'll be a lot of noise about it tomorrow. But it's funny that for the most part today, I've been looking at I've been checking out Browns information. I've been looking at the Browns, trying to keep up with the Shedeur Sanders situation and all that type of stuff, man. So This kind of caught me off guard, but that's Howie Roseman for you. That's Howie Roseman for you. So it is what it is. But here's one thing that I figured out. Here's one thing that I figured out. Number one, that we um, we are in a better situation up front. Everybody's worried about Milt Williams leaving, Brandon Graham retiring, rightfully so. But that's when I know that they weren't paying attention to the Eagles. That's when I know that they are looking at the Philadelphia Eagles from the outside looking in and not really doing homework. Even as much as I like Mina Kimes, as much as I love Mina Kimes, because I like and I respect Mina Kimes, because it seems to me that Mina Kimes does her homework. But even in that, when you're on the worldwide leader, when you're on ESPN and you're doing all of that content day after day after day, when you're doing all of that stuff, there's no way you can watch all of the games. You can only go through highlights. There's just not enough hours in a day. And they're on every day. Every day. So they got to recycle a lot of stuff. And, you know, it is what it is. Oh, there's some crazy faces right there. But yeah, there's no way that they can watch all of that content. So even somebody like Kimes and some of the other ones that I like on ESPN, even they get it wrong, and you can tell just by some of their comments that they are not in tune with what's actually, they don't have boots on the ground, so they can't understand the ins and outs and what's really going on in camp and things of that nature. So, other than maybe they might call in to 97.5 or WIP or something like that and talk a little bit. Now you got some people, like what's the name? What's the Indian guy from ESPN? He's from Philly. I think Aditi Kinkabwali is from this area. I know Colleen Wolfe is from Philly. So you do have some people that are Philly based that have ties in Philly, and they can get, like I said, boots on the ground information from people that are in Philadelphia. So they get their hand on the pulse. But for the most part, most of the national pundits do not. Most of them do not. Most of them, they jump on board with the whatever the national media is talking about, whatever Cowherd or Stephen A. Even Stephen A. ain't really tied into Philly like he used to be, because Stephen A. cut his teeth in Philadelphia. So I know he's got people in Philadelphia that can give him some good information. But he's at a point now where he's so big and he's so out there and he's got so many irons in the fire. In my opinion, even he can't. Kevin Nagandi, thank you, Chris. Even he can't get a real good sense of what's going on. You know what I mean? And anybody now, I just firmly believe that anybody now that's talking about they got sources in the locker room and this, that, and the other, I think it's all bullshit. I think they teams, and I know this for a fact, teams leak information on purpose, and they have a specific person that leaks that information. And there's no way there's going to be 4 or 5 different people that are sources for multiple media sources and ESPN personalities and stuff like that. There's no way that Stephen A. is going to have somebody, Schefter's going to have somebody, Rappaport's going to have somebody else, Mike Florio's going to have somebody else. There's no way there's going to be 4, 5, or 6 people giving out information. There's no way there's going to be 6 people on your squad snitching. Hell no. So, in my opinion, a lot of the stuff that these dudes are pulling, sources, y'all know how I feel about sources. You know what I mean? It's like sources is like, where's Waldo? Everybody got sources. And especially with the stuff Florio laid down this past week, he put Adam Schefter on blast. He put him on straight blast. But he said it. He said Schefter ain't the only one that does it. That's the way the game is played. these reporters and these leaks, you doing somebody a favor so you can get it reciprocated on the back end. And I believe that. I believe somebody will leak some information to Adam Schefter so he can smooth out a very rough situation. They were specifically talking about the guy from the Raiders that they just let go, which is why Booker is going down there. Because they kicked him off the team because he was doing that silly stuff, playing too damn much. So it worked out for us, but you got to be careful with sources. The sources don't know everything. But Florio jumped in the conversation about Wilkins, the guy that just got cut from the Raiders, because that dude was good. That dude was good, but apparently he was doing some not safe for work stuff in the locker room that people weren't too happy with. And hell, Marcellus Wiley even kind of insinuated that he might be gay. He might be gay, but leaking. And what he was saying was he could be somebody that's gay and that those tendencies are finally starting to come out. But when you see some of the shit that he did in games, like reaching down and pinching people's buttholes and all that type of, like, it was foul. Like that's the type of shit where you get up off the bottom of the pile and you trying to fight somebody. That type of shit. Where somebody's reaching in and grabbing your nuts or like literally they got it on tape where he tackled Josh Allen and he reaches down and he grabs him in the crack of his ass. Like grabs it. And what Marcellus Wiley insinuated is that maybe the way he explained it, and I understand it, and I never heard it explained this way, but he said he's gay, but he's leaking. Meaning that his lifestyle is spilling out and kind of saying like he want everybody to know it, but he don't want to have to say it. So just by his actions. So whatever happened in that locker room that weirded everybody out, because multiple sources called it a weird action. And I'm like, first of all, like stop it. Stop it. You know it's bad when they don't want to say what it is, because it is not difficult to say what it is. If you saw it happen, if you had a meeting about this incident in the locker room that's causing one of your best defensive players to get kicked off the team and promoted to fan, they know exactly what happened. And he probably did some not safe for work stuff. And he was just a little bit too playful to some guys that wasn't playing that type of role. They wasn't, stop playing with me. Take it for what you will. But the thing with Florio called Adam Schefter out because he said Adam Schefter was putting out a fluff piece to kind of soften the blow. And the reason why he was doing that was because the agent of this dude probably called Schefter like, hey, I want you to leak this story, but I need you to soften the blow so my guy can get signed somewhere else. And Florio just called him out and said, hey, this is how the game is played. Quid pro quo. You watch my back, I watch yours. Put this story out, and then I'll give you something on the back end to make it look like you got the big scoop. And he said it. He said that's what Schefter does. That's how all of these reporters do. They do backdoor deals. Schefter's not the only one that does it, but this is what happens. So Florio was like, I'm putting everybody on blast. And that tracks. It makes sense. That makes sense. Because I stand by this. When you're talking about a locker room, and we had this when I was in high school, even more so when you in college, and even more so when you in the pros. That locker room is a sacred place. You ain't just letting any old person in there. That locker room is like a family. and you don't discuss family business outside of the house. At least you're not supposed to. So you mean to tell me in my house I got 4 and 5 snitches that's leaking out information? Be careful. Be careful. Y'all remember that what happened last year when the whole AJ Brown thing happened and everybody knew what was going on the inside. Everybody swore up and down that they knew. And then Brandon Graham did what he did on the radio. And it's like you got to keep family business in the family. Don't discuss our business out in the streets. So, take that for what it's worth. Every team goes through all this stuff, but most of the teams you don't hear about it because they keep it in house. They keep it in house. So, it is what it is. I like Florio too sometimes. Sometimes he gets on my nerves because he, in my opinion, sometimes he gets a little self-righteous. Sometimes he wants to let you know for the umpteenth time that he used to be an attorney. And like, we get it. You know your stuff. You know your stuff. Just talk your talk and keep it moving. You ain't got to remind us every time that you got law degrees and you used to practice and you know what we get it. We know that. You can do that, but it gets to a point where it's like, all right, you can stop telling me that now. You know what I'm saying? That's like Michael Jordan coming somewhere and bragging because he know how to play basketball. Like, we get it. We know who you are. We know what you've done. You ain't got to keep beating us over the head with it. So, yeah. But it's one of those things. One of those things. All right, I'm about to put this link up. Also, I thought about this, and I got a new thing that I'm thinking about doing. I'm gonna put this out like every day. I'm gonna try to come up with one of these, and I'm just calling it keeping it 100. And hold on, I'm gonna put this link in, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. All right, all right. When you see drop the link, click it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, there you go. All right, so this is what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna come up with a new. This is something that I'm gonna be doing on TikTok. I'm gonna be posting these on Instagram, on Twitter. I put all my content out everywhere, so it's not gonna be any different. But specifically, and it's just gonna be called "Keep It 100." That's it. So, what's up, KSAP? Um, Keep it 100. If Trevor Lawrence had the career so far that Jalen Hurts has, Trevor Lawrence would be considered one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, probably top 5 with no hesitation. Keep it 100. So keep it 100. If Shador Sanders was playing like Dylan Gabriel is right now, everybody would be telling you that Shador Sanders just isn't it. Keep it 100. Keep it a buck. And I'm sure I got some more that I'm going to think of a little bit later on. But that's the premise. I'm going to take them clips, cut them up, make shorts with it. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. So, but Chris 3K, anybody else? I'm gonna cap it at 5, so I can take 4 more people on the panel if y'all want to come on up. It's up to you. What's up, Chris? Holla at me.
What up, Coach? Can you hear me?
What's going on, man? How you been?
Oh man, I've been great, man. Me personally, I think it's been a great off season, being Super Bowl champs. I haven't had too much complaints as far as the team. Uh,
Indeed.
can't complain. But I know it was a topic a few weeks ago, and obviously one of the hot things was the whole Jalen thing. I hadn't had a chance to kind of I was, writing to you a couple of times, but I just wanted to say just a little bit on that topic. I didn't understand it strictly because, or my biggest thing, and everybody's opinion is different. My biggest issue with it was if you go back to last year at the beginning of the season, the Eagles didn't make any big moves at the trade deadline or anything. Like people knew what that roster was, and so many
Right.
folks were like, "This team ain't gonna win the Super Bowl." The Eagles were not Super Bowl favorites at this time a year ago. People knew the
Not
roster.
hardly.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't even know if they were the favorites in the NFC. Forget the Super Bowl. Even in the conference, like Detroit was the one during the regular season that everybody was like, "Man, this looks like the
Yes.
team that's coming out," because they had
Correct.
Mr. Go for it on every fourth down, and they had golf throwing for all these yards, and they was running the ball. So my only complaint, or not my only one, but my biggest one is like, y'all knew what this team was, and a lot of y'all didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl until they did, and y'all had to cover face, and it was, well, we don't want to give Jalen his credit, so now it's everybody else but him. Like the team is so
Right.
good around him, and Saquon does this, and the defense was this. But I'm like, y'all knew what that roster was prior to the season, and most of y'all, or a lot of people, betting gods and this and that, y'all didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl. And my other part is, Jay ain't the first quarterback in the history of the game, and you know this, coach, to have talent and have expectations to win the Super Bowl. It's been plenty of guys that, even some of the elite ones. I know Josh Allen now, he doesn't have Diggs in him, but if you go back 3-4 years ago, the Bills were the team every year that were projected to like be one of the favorites to finally knock off Mahomes and the Chiefs when he had Diggs and when he had I think Kincaid was still there, but he had
Right.
some top flight dudes around him. And
Absolutely.
he didn't get over that. Yeah, he didn't get over that hump. He didn't win the Super Bowl,
Absolutely.
and well, he didn't even get to the yeah.
My
And
homeboy,
I'm like,
my
that's my
homeboy
only
Joey
thing with,
Burrow. Joey Burrow couldn't do it.
yeah, Joe Burrow couldn't do it.
Joe had the
Couldn't do it.
squad
He's
that
still
year.
living off of. He sure did. He's still living off of beating Mahomes in that AFC Championship game, where I really think the Chiefs just
Exactly.
collapsed
He was
more
given.
so
He
than the
was
Bengals really. Yeah,
well with the
he's
Bengals.
still
Is
living off that.
Bengals never had a defense, and now that
They
they got
never
a
did.
defense, now that they got a
Mhm.
defense, now that they got Trey Hendrickson that had 17 sacks last year, now they
Yeah,
want to treat him bad. They
yeah,
finally got they top draft pick signed, and then you got two wide receivers, but you might end up in the same spot that you was in last year. But
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
but but we'll see.
And yeah,
But
and that's my only thing. Mhm.
no, I was gonna say the thing is, man, you got to remember, like,
Did you ask?
what
Huh?
did everybody say coming up with the Super Bowl? Everybody, I know what I see. I've watched the tapes, but I'm not gonna pick against Patrick Mahomes. That was the overall theme, and I'm like,
Right.
Patrick Mahomes
Exactly.
does not block. He's not a tackle. He won't pull. He can't
No,
pick
he
up the
doesn't.
edge. He's not gonna block
Right.
Josh Sweat. And I don't
Right.
understand. Everybody got caught in that Patrick Mahomes mystique, and it's like y'all better watch the tape because Caliendo is getting his ass whooped, and Joe Tooney's on the wrong side, and he has never. Joe Tooney is probably going
He
to be a
was.
Hall of Fame offensive lineman on the right side because when they moved him to the left, he was getting his ass handed to him.
Yep.
And I'm like, what tape are y'all watching that you think Patrick Mahomes
Exactly.
is going to be able to clean that up? I'm like, did y'all watch that kid named Jalen Carter all year?
He
He gonna kill Caliendo. Caliendo's a turnstile right now. But guess what? I'm not gonna bet against Patrick Mahomes. How'd that work out for you? How'd that work out for you? But to your point, man, it's that's not anything new. You know what I mean? I Doug Williams was my coach when I was in the World League, my first year in the World League. So that's why, even though we are all in the NFC East, I still got love for the Redskins because of Doug Williams. And I remember Doug Williams when, talking to some of the players one night, he told us about his experience. He took the Redskins to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl MVP, and then they cut him for damn Jeff Rutledge. Why? And that's a prime example of, and you see examples of this all through the league. You see what's going on in Washington. You see what's going on down in Dallas and all these other places. and it's like um people, you're supposed to be the smartest people in the room that are making those GM decisions, and it don't work out that way. So, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, don't do nothing but rhyme. So, what's up, Gingerbread Man? What's good, bro, Claude?
What's going on, coach? You working today, brother. You working today.
Man, they
Proud
got
of
me
you, man.
busy,
Proud
bro.
of you.
I got the Eagles going.
Man.
I still got the WNBA, man. I've been busy, brother.
Yeah, you been busy. I know it's gonna be busy because I'm a bear down. You know what I mean? I'm a bear down all day long. But you know what? You know, I've been a fan of football, which my cousin Timothy Smiley, which was
Yeah, yeah,
played
yeah.
for
We
the
talked about him a couple times.
Buffalo Bills, and you and him talk. And one thing that about me, I'm pretty much well rounded when it comes to professional sports because I got a few of them that's first cousins
Mhm.
in the leagues. But nobody saw Jalen Hurts and what his movement was, what his struggles was, what his trials and tribulations was, what he had to go through and what was said. He is the football Angel Reese because they did not, they did not think that this man was going to deliver the way that he delivered, and he did what he did and came in and got that thing. And all of them now got to eat crow. I'm proud of Jake. You know what I mean? I wanted, you know what I mean? I'm a Mahomes fan, but
Mhm.
because of the disgrading and the disrespect that
Yep.
that young man had to go through, just to be a part of a talk of one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL over the years. And he came through and delivered where everybody else degraded him. And still right now, they talk that talk
Yeah, they still doubt
about
him.
about
Definitely
what
doubt
he's
him.
not. And he got a chip. That's totally
Yeah.
disrespect. So what I wanted to say was that, coach, you know, when you a player of that caliber, because now we can say he's a championship caliber player.
Facts.
We can say that. So
Facts.
when you're a player of that caliber and people are doubting your game, you just have to let the chips fall. You know that. You've been in them locker
Absolutely.
rooms and things that it is. But the only thing that I would say that is that I hope they protect them more this year because they gunning for him. They gunning for him this year. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they've
I
been
hope they
gunning for him since he went to the Super Bowl the first time. He'd have been to
uh,
two
uh,
Super Bowls in 3 years and outplayed the best of the best
absolutely, absolutely.
twice.
But
So,
coach, championship makes a difference. It's a
absolutely.
different gauge.
You
You
got
get
that
what
chip.
I'm saying? He got a whole nother type of gauge that's coming at him now.
Yeah,
They
man.
gon' they gon' they gon' try to do him in to make him look like he wasn't worthy. You know what I mean? Those type of things is going on. Even right now, after this man is delivered, you got this type of talk going on with Jalen Hurts, which is a quality, a high profile, type of quarterback that can see it all, do it all, be it all. You know what I mean? The way he is, I give him his love. You know what I'm saying? I give him his shot. And shout out to the Eagles. You know what I mean? Even though they gotta come and see us and bear down. You know what I'm saying? One time when it comes, but most definitely, I think that young brother is one of the phenomenal uh, uh, quarterbacks that we have seen in this day and time because he went under scrutiny all
Absolutely.
the way to the Super Bowl. You understand? So I'm down with that. And then my second thing is about that locker room thing with old boy.
Yeah.
Man, I blame the organization for that. I know the highways and byways in that. They heard the whispers. They saw the signs.
Oh, you
They
talking about
heard it.
the dude down in Las Vegas?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They saw the
Yeah.
signs. I know
Yeah.
that.
He
The
he
ends, you know
crossed
what I
he
mean?
crossed he had to have crossed the line because that dude
He-
ain't no scrub.
that ain't just coming out.
Nah.
That ain't just that ain't coming out you know what I mean? It's just that it didn't boil over.
It boiled
But
over.
they supposed to have nipped that in the bud when the locker room called that shit, that stuff out. They
Yeah.
supposed to have had that family meeting. You dig? You know what y'all do. I know what
Hell
y'all
yeah.
do. You know,
They,
even though I was outside the locker room sitting waiting for them to come out, but you know, y'all should have had, you know what I mean? They should have had that family meeting
they
and
had
say that,
something because he must have crossed that line something awful because
yeah,
he's worth a lot of money. And like I said, he is no scrub. He was a
no,
good defensive tackle. And
yes,
they cut their losses quick.
yes. You know,
So
but don't act like because of the media now grabbing hold of it, you trying to react real fast while that whole locker room had to be
oh, for
side-eyeing that
sure.
man the whole time. You
For
got what I'm
sure.
saying?
He
Side-eyeing that guy. So, you
and
know,
he's trying to save his career. Because now
yeah,
you're looking at who gonna want to deal with him now.
yeah,
Who gonna want to invite him in the locker room?
with that sassy stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
no,
gonna be a no go. So
Nobody.
yeah,
we'll see we'll see what they gonna do, man. But we in the midst of it now, man. I'm gonna be down there on Thursday when the Eagles play Cincinnati.
oh, okay,
So I'm gonna be bringing some content. That's our alumni game, so we get to walk out
right,
on the field at halftime and all that type of stuff. But
right.
I'm gonna be down there early with some content. So I'm
Congrats.
looking
And I
forward to
wanted
it.
to say that, man, you know, I really love you and I appreciate what you're doing. You know,
I
you already
appreciate you,
know.
bro, Claude.
And I
You
just
know we
want the
rock with each
people to
other,
know.
man.
Yeah, I want the people to know that this man right here, this is my brother. He's a Fever fan, but most of all, he's a basketball fan. You understand? And I appreciate that. And he's one of the reasons that I have now started covering the whole entire WNBA. This guy right here, you know, kind of softened me up to let me, you know, be seeing that they all ain't crazy. Everybody ain't damn crazy. You know what I
Everybody
mean?
ain't
Because
crazy, bro.
it looked that way, but it's
You
really
ain't
not
lying.
that way.
You
Yeah,
ain't lying,
it's
bro.
not that way. And you know, we definitely need help over here in Chicago. We crying in heaven, trying to pray that the Lord touch us. The Lord, the
Get,
Lord
get y'all
above
get y'all
touch us.
get y'all a good quarterback and get rid of Jeff P.
Yeah. Get rid of
That's
Jeff.
pretty much it.
I land. I appreciate you, coach. I'm here, man. I'm just watching at this point.
You got it, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Chris, you back? Uh-oh. I still can't hear you. You got your mic on? Uh-oh. All right. We'll get back to him later. Let me know when you back on, dude. Yeah, something. He always bumping out. But yeah, man. It's he said the NFL version of Angel Reese. I had looked at it that way, but I feel what you're saying, bro, Claude. Um, it's been like that with Jalen since he got drafted, man. Um, we had Carson Wentz, and people forget how good Carson Wentz was when he came out. Um, and for Howie Roseman and the management to have that type of forethought to bring in another quarterback when Carson Wentz was playing lights out till he got hurt. And once he took that hit from Jadeveon Clowney in the back of the head, not the knee, not the one that tore his knee, the hit that he took when he came back in the back of the head. After that play happened, Carson Wentz was never the same quarterback, in my opinion. He was never the same. He never had his edge. He never had his touch. He didn't move around like he used to move around. It just he was different. He was different. And Jalen Hurts just kept on rising and kept on getting better and doing the things that everybody said he shouldn't do and he couldn't do. And he kept throwing the ball, slinging the ball, running the ball, doing whatever it took to get the dub. And we got the ultimate when we beat. The Chiefs, and people still mad at him. People still don't think he's good enough because they're looking for a specific thing. They're looking for um, physical attributes. And I say this all the time. I'm about to go back and find that video before the season starts, man. And I counted it up. There was 45,000 passing yards. 45,000 passing yards was on the couch during the playoffs. So all of those passing yards and all of those 6'4" and 6'5" and guys that can throw the ball 80 yards on a string and all of that mess that people talk and act like it means so much. All of them was either on the couch or they was in Cancun watching. And Jalen Hurts outplayed the best of the best twice. No, let there be no misunderstanding. They got us the first time in 22 on a questionable call. You win some, you lose some. But it wasn't because our quarterback. We lost that game on a questionable call and a punt return. And then y'all saw what happened when we put belt to ass last year. And like I was saying earlier, all of the experts in the field, all of those experts, all of these people that swear up and down, they watch tape, they know football, blah, 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 blah. And what were y'all looking at? Y'all couldn't tell me that y'all actually thought that offensive line was going to be able to stop Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Jalen Hunt. Y'all really thought that was going to do that? And Brandon Graham. And nah, I don't understand why you thought that Patrick Mahomes was just going to overcome that. But hey, to each his own. You're welcome to your thoughts. So, yeah, we lost Booker. That's why I opened it up with Tiff. And we got what's his name? Jakorian Bennett, who played pretty well, but he got that shoulder injury. So I'm about to go back and watch some tape on him. Go out to watch some tape. If you started 10 games, you don't start this league if you a scrub. It just don't happen. So we got some depth that we needed it. Let's keep it a buck. We needed it. So it is what it is. I trust Howie implicitly. He is the Wizard of Philadelphia. Hopefully I'll be able to see him and get some updated pictures on Thursday. I usually make it a point to get a picture with Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, and I got Nakobe Dean is on my list, and Jahad Campbell, because I got to get a picture with one of my GT Stallions, one of the kids I used to coach back in the day. It's only right. That's a full circle moment for me. So looking forward to that, seeing them. So yeah, it should be fun. But it's early, man. It's early, Q. Don't even sweat it. Everybody, I think Keely Ringo's gonna be fine. But more than that, whether or not Keely Ringo can play, it is going to play itself out one way or the other. I know what everybody thinks his critique and all of that type of stuff. I know what people think that is, but at the end of the day, until I see him against other color jerseys, I'm not even gonna worry about it. What I'm looking for, Keely, this is who I'm looking for. This is who I'm concentrating on for Thursday. I'm concentrating on Keely Ringo. I'm concentrating on Sidney Brown. And I want to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I don't think Jahad's going to play. Most of the starters are not going to play. If you're dinged up or banged up, I don't expect many of our starters to play. But I do want to see A.J. Dillon. I do want to see Shipley and some of those backups on the offensive line. So Tanner McKee, I'm not worried about him. I don't even think Tanner McKee might make it through the year this year. I think he might end up being trade bait because I think he has the potential to be a starter in this league somewhere. And we are not the only ones that know that. So, I don't know. I can see him being trade bait. But we'll see. We'll see. He gonna get a lot of clock this weekend, that's for sure. And then I might have a beat in to get up to practice one day when we're doing the joint practice with the Browns. And so hopefully I'll be able to have boots on the ground to see Shador for myself. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now that they get real tight about you can't, like, when they have practice, you can't film nothing. Like, they literally have people walking around the sidelines looking for people with phones. And they will walk up, get in front of your face and be like, please, no filming here. And if they got to ask you twice, they will escort you the hell out of there. So usually if they playing, then I have the phone up and I'll be recording my thoughts as I'm watching them. But they don't let you film anything. And I know it's going to be tight up there if they having joint practices. So, but I do hope I get a chance to see Shador for myself. Chris, your microphone working yet?
Yeah, I should be good now. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just some technical difficulties, but that I had kind of left off or kind of heard off when
What'd you say? Uh-oh. Did you go again? You killing me, son. Killing me, Smalls. Yeah, you either must be on your phone or traveling or something. Oh my goodness. But I do want a chance to see Shador play. So I can see it for myself. Tiffany, they ain't doing nothing now. He ain't going nowhere now, but it would not surprise me if Howie Roseman, if needed, can use Tanner McKee as trade bait. That would not surprise me at all because he is a good quarterback, and a good quarterback fetches a great price. So it all depends on how things go. Hopefully we won't need, it won't be no injuries or nothing like that. So we'll see. We'll see. You got to let things play out, man. So it's all good, Chris. I appreciate you, bro. Great cap move by Howie. Another rookie deal, talented player, 2 years, 2 for 2. Wow. See, what I'm looking at, I don't have any contract information. But yeah, that's super cheap, bro. That's Walmart cheap right there. I ain't mad at that. Tip said, I don't like having good players. Yeah, listen, when you got good players, everybody want them. Good players and good coaches, man, they get poached. Me and Tone was just talking about Thomas Booker the other day. Last Sunday, we was talking about him. We were just talking about him because I think that dude is a player. That dude got some Myles Garrett type guns. That boy has some, he been doing the curls in the weight room or something. God dog. So, but again, situations like this, Howie Roseman is the king of Philadelphia. He is the wizard. And he knows what spells to cast. He knows what runes to use. Howie Roseman, he's got a lock on it. So I trust Howie Roseman implicitly. He can do no wrong in my eyes. He might whiff, but let's be real. When's the last time Howie Roseman whiffed after Jalen Reagor? Maybe JJ Arthur-Whiteside? Maybe. So, Marcellus, I was talking about him early in the show. The first time I became aware of Ty Robinson was when I saw him against Colorado. And that was a pretty if I remember correctly, Nebraska jacked him up because Colorado never had a really good offensive line. And Ty Robinson was in Shador's face, in his grill all game. Ty Robinson had a great game. And that's the first time I became aware of him. And then you go back and look at the kid's an athlete, playing fullback and doing the things that he can do. So we got a player. Let's hope he pans out. Let's hope he pans out. James, Bryce Huff was a trade, not a draft pick. He was a trade, not a draft pick. Now you want to talk about trades? You got Bryce Huff. You got Robert Quinn. Who are some others? I'm trying to think. Heck, what's the dude we signed last year, the cornerback in 2023? What's the guy that we signed from? Was it the Texans? He was like a 31-year-old defensive back, but he was good. I think he had an All-Pro under his belt. I can't remember his name. We got him in here, and he didn't. Nothing really happened with that. He was okay, but we already had okay. So yeah, Marcellus, Ty. That's when I became aware of Ty. He got busy on Shador, but I think he's going to be fine, especially playing. The person to watch out for. Yeah, thank you, Kevin Byard. Yes, Q Byard. Byard was supposed to be a solid vet, and it didn't pan out. I looked at Byard kind of like we looked at Nnamdi Asomugha all them years ago. Nnamdi Asomugha was a baller for the Raiders. And when he came here and got into this new system, it wasn't the same. There's a couple of guys that was like that. Nnamdi Asomugha was like that. DeMarco Murray. Remember when we signed DeMarco Murray? And Chip Kelly had him running out of gun. And I'm like, he's a downhill runner. You can't have him going left and right out of gun. That's not his forte. That's not his style. And he was horrible until the one play they lined up in pistol and let DeMarco Murray come downhill. And I think he ended up busting like a 50-yard touchdown or something like that. And it's like, that's the way this dude plays. But to me, that was a prime example. That was a prime example of coaches bringing people in and trying to force a square peg in a round hole. And it's like, nah, you got to adjust your game plan. You got to adjust your scheme to the talent that's around you, not vice versa. Because once you give him the ball, you got to let him do his thing. Let him do what he does best. If cutting back is not what he does best, you don't want him cutting back. Don't call them plays. Let him bounce outside or let them hit the hole going north and south. Lord knows we got the right offensive line to do that. I remember when Miles Sanders was still here. Miles Sanders used to catch hell about that. He jump cuts too much. Well, that's what got him here. He got that ability. But we didn't, and I stand 10 toes down on that. We didn't use Miles Sanders correctly because we had that same good offensive line, except we still had Jason Kelsey. We had a solid offensive line, and we could have ran over anybody. But they was trying to prove something, trying to throw the ball everywhere. We could have been running the same offense and would have had much more success. Miles Sanders should have led the league in rushing one year. When I added it up mathematically, I think what was the kid from Vegas? Josh, can't remember. He won the Russian title that year. I want to say in 2022 or 23. I think it was 22. He won the Russian title, but mathematically, Miles Sanders had a better yards per carry. So what I did was I took the difference between him and Miles Sanders. How many more carries did the guy from Las Vegas have than Miles Sanders? And I took that number and I multiplied it by Miles Sanders yards per carry. And based on that calculation, what I was saying was if they would have had the same number of carries, Miles would have won the title. And that was back when he was getting 8 to 12 carries or touches a game because they wasn't throwing the ball to him. But even back then, our offensive line was head and shoulders above everybody else, and we still didn't use them right. It wasn't until we got Saquon Barkley. We didn't even when we had DeAndre Swift, and DeAndre Swift was a home run hitter. Still didn't want to use him. We didn't throw no screens. You still had him going off tackle, and not enough. Didn't use him right. Square peg in a round hole. And only when we got Saquon was like, okay, we got to use him because we just paid him. But it shouldn't be like that. We could have been doing a hell of a lot more with our running backs than what we did before Saquon got here. We could have been doing that. Wasted talent and wasted time. Jacobs, thank you. Josh Jacobs, yep, 100% correct. So Josh Jacobs had like 300 something carries that year, and Miles Sanders had like 250, 260, whatever it was. It was a difference of almost like 40 carries or something like that. So I took whatever that difference was, multiplied it by yards per carry for Miles Sanders, and I was like, oof. If we would just dedicate to running the damn ball, we could have wrecked shop. But they didn't want to do it. So, but Tiff, are you going to the game? Or you gonna be watching it? I can't wait. I'm gonna be down there. So I'm supposed to be going. The goal is I'll probably go to one game this year because I prefer to watch the game at home. I will put some ribs in the smoker and, or a brisket or something. And I prefer watching the game at home. So especially now that I'm streaming and stuff like that. So I'll be watching the game on my TV over here and I'll have the live stream on because I'm going to do a couple of live streams. But the plan is to go to at least one game because I usually don't tailgate, but I want to go to a couple tailgates so I can just strictly for content. Because even if I'm going to go to a game, but if I go to a game to watch the game, I'm not tailgating. But I want to go to tailgate and then I'm bringing my ass home to watch the game. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, stay tuned for stuff like that, man. Is some new stuff. So, got the graphics going. Got some things happening. You guys saw that other video. It worked better than I thought. It's kind of ugly. But I was happy with it. I put that together. I filmed that yesterday, and I figured out what I wanted to do in After Effects, and it worked better than I could expect it. I did the top off because I didn't want to show my neighbor's house because I was in the backyard and stuff. But just to be able to put the 3D text and then it moves, you notice it moves and it's in the right space when I'm moving around in the camera because I got my gimbal and I got it set up to follow me wherever I move. So the background is moving the way it should. The only thing I didn't do, and I just didn't feel like figuring out how to do it, I should have put a drop shadow underneath the letters to make it look like the shadow was on the grass. But I just got lazy and I was trying to get it done because it had crashed on me a couple times and I finally got it to a point where it was working. So I was like, let me go ahead and do this. So I was happy with it. But yes, the shadows on the ground probably would have been a nice touch. Maybe next time. But I got some ideas, so I'm gonna be doing that going forward. Working on a new virtual set. That should be fun. So I can make it look like I'm in the studio, that sort of things. Trying to do it big. Trying to do it big. And I do all this stuff myself. So trying to step the game up, man. Trying to step the game up. My goal is to when the season gets started and I'm streaming these games, the goal is I got to have at least 100 people on every stream. So because I've been streaming more and more, my numbers have kind of kicked up because now I can be anywhere between 30 and 60. Right now I'm at 42. Trying to get that up, but like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But it's working. It's working. Keep putting out content every day. And we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. We talked about the trade, how we try to sneak it in there in the thick of the night. But so this will be the topic of conversation tomorrow morning. And then we'll hear a little bit more about practice. AJ Brown is not playing because of his hamstring. The injuries, we got a few, but nothing major. Nothing major. So you got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. So hopefully the Eagles can get to the regular season without any problems, without any health issues. But you know how that goes. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good night, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more content. I think it's a couple WNBA games tomorrow, so definitely be doing that. So yeah, should have a good day. But I appreciate. Listen, we have 42. I don't know what my final stats were. Let me look. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Please like and subscribe. Let me see what my analytics was for the stream. Let me see what we got. What we got? Oh, it's the wrong one. Let's see. We got up to viewer activity, analytics, concurrent. We got up to 56. We have 56 on at the same time. So not bad, not bad. The goal is to get triple digits. And then once we get triple digits, the goal is to make your way up to quadruple digits, to the thousands. It can be done. Just got to put a lot of work in. So appreciate everybody jumping on the chat. I will be live and active tomorrow on Twitter because I'm sure it is going to be a lot of information out tomorrow about the trades and about everything that's going on. So stay tuned. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I'm trying to talk. That's why I open up the lines. Trying to get everybody to come online and say what you got to say, give your opinions. So, but in any case, I appreciate everybody being in the chat. Tiff, Eagle has landed. Quentin, Salvatore, Marcellus, James, Chris 3K, Bro Claude, K Sap, James, everybody that was in the chat, man. Garuda, appreciate everybody. 88s, my man 88s MC, Humble Servant, everybody. Function, appreciate you, bro. 63, appreciate you. Everybody, my man Carlos, all good, man. All good, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all tomorrow, and we're going to do it again, man. Holla at you later. Peace. Go Birds.